Okay, so let's do a practice one. So if we follow along on the left here, it's going to give us the steps to follow. And this is going to be our before. So before we change anything, and then this is going to be our after. Okay? So it says determine the number of atoms for each element. So right now, we have nothing around magnesium, so magnesium is a 1. We have a little 2 at oxygen, so the oxygen has 2, okay? On this side, we have again, a 1 because there's only 1 magnesium and there's only 1 oxygen. So we can look at the numbers and we can compare. So magnesium's numbers equal out, but oxygen's do not. So therefore, this is an unbalanced equation, okay? So what we need to do is try to balance it now. We need to get these numbers of each element the same on both sides of the equation. And we do that by putting coefficients in these little boxes right in front, all right? So we know that we need to have 2 oxygens. So I know that there's going to have to be a 2 in front of this magnesium and oxygen. I'm going to rewrite it here. They don't give us very much room here, do they? All right, so I know that I want to put a 2 in front of that. I'm going to write it in red so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm putting a 2 in front of that. So now I know that I have on this side 2 magnesiums, and because the 2 goes there, but this 2, because it's in front, just like in math, distributive property, the 2 also goes to the oxygen, right? So there's 2 oxygens now. So I've got 2 of these on each side. So if I look back over here, I've got the 2 oxygens, so oxygen's good, but I only have 1 magnesium. So what am I going to do about that? Exactly. I'm going to pop a 2 right in front of the magnesium, and so now my magnesium is also going to be 2. So now I look at this and I say 2 on each side for each of those elements. This is now a balanced equation. This is my answer. 2 magnesiums plus 2 oxygens yields, we read this as yields, 2, I don't know how we say magnesium and oxygen. I'm sure it has a cool sounding name there, but I don't know what it is. All right? Okay. So let's try one more together, and then you can try the other ones on your own, and then we'll show how to do them together. All right? So the first step is do the before. How many calciums? 1. How many oxygens? 2. On this side, how many calciums? 1. How many oxygens? 1. So we know right now that this is unbalanced. We need to balance it. So we're going to do that by rewriting it on this side. Ca plus O2 yields CaO. Okay? All right. So I need to, this is going to be very similar to the one we just did with magnesium, right? Is that what you're thinking in your head? We know that we've got 2 oxygens. We need to get 2 over here. So once again, we're putting the 2 in front of our calcium oxide here, which means we've got calcium 2, distributive property, and oxygen 2. Okay? So now we've got to think about how can we get 2 calciums and 2 oxygens on this side. We've got 2 oxygens. How are we going to get 2 calciums? 2 in front of the calcium, 2 calciums. We now have a balanced equation. All right? Is it making sense? Yes, no, maybe so? All right. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Take a couple minutes, pause the video, and try and do the next 3 on your own, and then we'll come right back to it and we'll try to do them together. All right? All right, you're back. You tried it on your own. Let's try and do them together. So right now we've got how many nitrogens? 2. How many hydrogens? 2. On this side though, how many nitrogens? We only have 1. And how many hydrogens? 3. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the earlier one that we just did. Okay? So let's again rewrite our equation. N2 plus H2 yields NH3. Okay, and we know we've got those blanks in front of them that we can fill up with coefficients. Now, what we have to remember when we get on this end of it, when we have a coefficient, whatever we put in front, we're going to multiply by the coefficient to get our number of elements. Okay.